Hi everyone. Adam Winchester.
Amanda Sanders.
And today we're going to be talking about disruption in businesses, how to stop your business from being disrupted. Before we get into that though, we're going to go through a little bit about the history, and then towards the end we've got our first in a 10-part series of what you can do in your business to protect yourself from disruption. How are you today, man?
I'm absolutely wonderful,
So
as
am
always.
I.
Thank you so much for asking, Adam.
So take us through some of the highlights of history, and we'll sort of just talk about those things. If we look way back in the past, there's been disruption to industries through different types of technology coming in, which displace people and cause disruption to the business, either through efficiency or through profits or complete process change.
It's evolution, basically. Evolution has to keep on happening. That's the nature of business, that's the nature of being a human, that's the nature of the world, basically. So you start off with something very, very simple way back, where the weavers or the family was involved in weaving, and then all of a sudden you get the industrial size weavers coming in, so their money's reduced, their pay's reduced, and they have to then go into factories. So you need to make sure that you are adapting to progress, basically, because you can't stop it.
And certainly, obviously, you've mentioned the factories. The Industrial Revolution was a big change for a lot of businesses, taking people out of fields and bringing them into factory settings where the amount of money that they were able to earn was reduced. And we're seeing that in relation to technological change as well, where people are being redeployed to different roles where they need to learn new skills. So it's not something that's new for business, but what is also continuing to happen now in business is that people are putting their head in the sand. People aren't thinking about what's going to impact their business, what's going to either reduce their profit, what's untenable to do anymore, and not looking to the future, not looking to how they can harness technology so that they, one, don't get disrupted, two, have the right things happening within their business so that they can improve their efficiency, improve their profits. And we'll talk about that in our first tip for this week. And we're doing a different tip every week for the next 10 weeks. And from there, certainly if there's any questions or concerns that people have, just make a comment in the comments below, and Mandy and I will strive to respond to those comments and even reach out to you if it's something that's maybe more specific to your business. So
in the recent past, the big thing that came in, 20 years ago in my lifetime, was computers.
Yeah.
And people were scared of computers, and not just scared, but they didn't actually realise the impact that it was going to be having on their business. In order to make sure that you are ready for change, ready for evolution, you need to make sure that your business is ready.
Yeah.
And that's not putting your head down in the sand and hoping that it's going to go away, or being naive enough to think that it's not going to come into play or act in any way on your business. You have to be aware of what's happening and be ready for it.
And so how do we do that? If we're a business owner that is looking to improve their business and to protect themselves from this technological change, specifically AI at the moment, with the new AI changes that are coming in that can automate manual roles that are currently done by humans, how can you prepare for that?
With your business plan, you need a really up-to-date, up-to-the-minute business plan, not one that you wrote 10 years ago when you first started your business. I'm quite surprised as a business coach how many people in business don't actually have a business plan, to be honest. It's scary. They just go into business, they start their business, and they don't even know what their budgets are. They don't understand their numbers, let alone what they're going to do and how they're going to plan for their business to grow into the future. You need a really concise business plan in order to be able to predict where your business is going to go, but also aim it in that direction. so that you're actually planning as opposed to flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, and obviously the business plans in the past mainly were looking internally and looking at the business itself and potentially the market and direct competitors and things like that.
Yeah.
But the business plans of the future from now onwards also need to look at external factors that potentially could impact, like artificial intelligence, and how that might impact either your competitors, your suppliers, or even your internal processes, and whether you can harness those changes. So, for instance, if we've got AI coming into a particular part of your business, is that something that you can adopt? Is it something that you can stay off the pressure in respect to changing your expenses or the costs of producing what you produce, or the cost of selling it, or the price that you sell it for? So there's multiple ways you can improve the shield, if you like, for AI, including adopting it. But in some cases, the adoption. Yeah, that's right. So AI at the moment doesn't provide a benefit out of the box. So it will increase the amount that you need to work, it will increase the workload, and it'll increase the risk of employees working on things that aren't important right now. Because what AI does, it gives you the ability to have instant answers about topics. And those answers might be great information, but it might not be relevant for something to work on right away. And so if you're implementing AI into your business and you're asking your employees to work on something that AI is telling them to work on, be very careful. So we need to make sure that we've got AI released as micro functions within the business that have a business tool component to them, allowing the business to harness efficiency or automation that makes sense right now for the business.
It's a bit like when Wikipedia started. Everybody took it as read that whatever Wikipedia told them was the truth. It's not. And it's going to be the same with AI. AI is a learning tool. It needs to learn, it needs to evolve, and that's what it's doing at the moment. So if you're going to rely on it from here on in and expect yourself and your employees to be using it, you have to make sure, like anything, that you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's, and that it's actually the truth, that it's actually compliant, it actually is going to be worthwhile putting into your business, and it's not going to take more hours as opposed to making your role quicker and easier.
Yeah. And so what do you think in relation to the business plan rework? How should a business look at redesigning their business plan in order to make it future-proofed?
They need to have a look at the systems within their business plan, the systems that are going to be supported by an AI in being implemented. So with example, at the moment, if you're going to be doing your finances, so if you can implement finances so that you're actually doing accounts receivable and things like that, which can be you can have human error in that kind of an area. AI can overtake that, and do it for you, so that you've removed the human error side of your accounts receivable, remove the human from it, but you're still going to be able to redeploy that human. That doesn't mean that you don't need them at all. You can redeploy them into an area that's actually going to work better for your business.
Oh, revenue generating exercises, right? So obviously accounts receivable is a cost because you've done the work, and then the cost to collect the money is something that can get quite large, especially if you've got a client that requires lots of touch points in order to collect. So certainly AI can help in accounts receivable. It's not just human error that it's solving, it's the efficiency increase that you're getting by having an automated system collecting accounts and reminding customers on payment dates, automatically applying late fees to invoices, automatically sending debt collection notices. So there's a whole process stream there. But again, it comes back to that micro function. So not having an AI that has that whole process, but multiple AI models that do individual tasks is the way to deploy AI. So you could end up in an accounts receivable process having 5 or 6 different AI models, running different parts of the AR, accounts receivable process, allowing individual people to be able to spend 20 minutes a week checking the AI's actions rather than 40 hours a week actually doing the work. So really nice to have something like that automated within the business.
And that kind of thing will actually support your business going forward, because it's going to take away that extra time that you need, that you don't want to be spending in your business chasing invoices or making sure that the invoices have gone out properly. If it's automated with AI, I always say in business you need to take away the human error. So you need to systemize and you need to automate your business enough so that the human error side of it is removed. I'm not saying remove humans altogether, but the human error side of the business is a massive cost to a lot of businesses at the moment, and we can look at that.
Absolutely, and certainly it's never about removing humans from the process. It's about redeploying them where the tasks that they're doing sit within the realm of what humans are good at. Because there's a big crossover. There's no crossover between humans and computers. Humans are good at this sort of stuff, having a conversation. They're good at building relationships with customers. They're the soul of the business. They're not good at reading reports. They're not good at handling lots of data, moving information from one system to another, because that's where the human error comes in. That's what computers are good at. So the more we can replace computer-specific actions with computers, the better a business will be, the stronger a business will be, and the less likely you'll be to be disrupted, because you can still maintain a healthy profit margin even with automated systems coming in that may replace some of the functions within your business. So let's talk about the tip, if you like, to protect your business from disruption, and I think we've touched on it through the conversation around the business plan. So our first tip when you're protecting your business from disruption is to really focus on putting together a great business plan where you identify potential disruption points within the business. And that might be disruption points where there is a risk of a artificial intelligence or technology tool being able to replace something that you do, whether that's something that you do in respect to producing or manufacturing a product, whether it's something that you do in respect to how the method of business is conducted that can do it more efficiently, quicker, or in other ways. And looking at external factors as well as internal factors. So can we replace some of the functions in the business and redeploy staff internally? Great, let's put that in the business plan. Let's get a roadmap out. So this week, the goal is putting all of that stuff out on a broadsheet and just working through it, and looking further than just your market and just your competitors, but looking out to other parts of that may touch parts of your business. So an automation tool that can automate accounts receivable means that you get almost a full-time employee back into the business in a revenue generating exercise.
And it's not about making sure that you've got the business plan worked and ready to go right far into the future. You're going to be tweaking it regularly. I think
absolutely, and that's a good point. It needs to be a living document. It's not something that you produce and put in your top drawer and say, my job's done. It has to be something that you refer to weekly. It's something that all of the staff have access to, and it's a living document. So you're tweaking it as you're moving through the year in order to keep the ship pointed in the right direction.
And that's a good thing to bring up as well, is the fact that your team are also knowledgeable in areas that you're not. So if you utilise your team in order to think outside of the box with regards to what it is that they do within your business, and how they help you to build and grow this business plan, it's then a living, breathing object that will see you into the future, but it also gives your team ownership of their role.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so that's all for us this week, but next week we will try to set up the live stream, so this comes live via LinkedIn. Unfortunately, we've had some some issues connecting to that LinkedIn live stream. Any comments, post them below, and we'll come back with some responses on those comments. As we move forward, we'll introduce more and more ideas so that we can keep businesses on a track to healthy and profitable enterprise through any type of disruption. All right, so thanks very much, Amanda.
You're more than welcome, Adam, and thank you for tuning in. See you
Thanks,
again.
guys. Ciao.